A general explanation of the Buddha speaks of Amitabha Sutra, with commentary by the Venerable Master Xuanhua. Verse for opening a sutra. The unsurpassed, profound, and wonderful Dharma is difficult to encounter in hundreds of millions of eons. I now see and hear it, receive and uphold it, and I vow to fathom the Tathagata's true meaning. Clarifying the principle. According to the truth of origination, I vow to cut off the inexhaustible afflictions. The three sufferings are 1. Suffering within suffering. This is the poverty and misery of all living beings. 2. The suffering of decay. Living beings may enjoy wealth and honor, but it eventually goes bad. 3. The suffering of process. Even without the sufferings of poverty and decay, the bitterness of the life process from birth to the prime of life, to old age, and then to death is still suffering. The shift and change of each passing thought is called the suffering of process. The 8 sufferings are 1. The suffering of birth. 2. The suffering of old age. 3. The suffering of sickness. 4. The suffering of death. It was because Shakyamuni Buddha met with these 4 sufferings that he decided to leave the home life and cultivate the way. 5. The suffering of separation from what you love. 6. The suffering of being joined with what you hate. If people are not apart from loved ones, they are involved with enemies. If you don't like someone, you will find someone just like him wherever you go. 7. The suffering of not realizing aspirations. You worry about getting something, and once you have it, you worry about losing it. This suffering is nothing compared to the next. 8. The suffering of the raging blaze of the 5 skandhas: form, feelings, perceptions, impulse, and consciousness. The 5 skandhas are like a raging fire. They are a constant shadow which we cannot escape. According to the truth of suffering, I vow to save the limitless living beings. Why are there limitless suffering besides these 8? In the past lives, we planted the seeds of suffering as if they were old friends with which we were loath to part. Having established causes and conditions for suffering in the past, in the present we reap a bitter fruit. From causes made in life goes by, comes your present life. Results you'll get in life to come arise from this life's deeds. Plan good causes, reap good results. Plan bad causes, reap bad results. You fear the results. Oh, I'm suffering too bitterly, you say, but you suffer because previously you planted the causes of suffering. Living beings fear the results, not the causes from which they come. But bodhisattvas fear the causes, not the results. Bodhisattvas are extremely careful not to plant the causes of suffering, and so they do not reap the harvest of suffering. They endure their present suffering gladly. So bodhisattvas, too, must sometimes suffer, but they do so willingly, knowing that enduring suffering ends suffering. Enjoying blessings destroys blessings. Living beings, on the other hand, are not afraid to plant the causes of suffering. Good causes, bad causes, it doesn't matter, they say. I'll do it anyway. It's not important. But when the results come, oh, I can't stand it, they moan. How could this happen to me? Such bitterness. If you fear suffering, you should not plan the causes of suffering, for if you do, you will certainly reap its bitter fruits. Born in the land of ultimate bliss, one endures no suffering but enjoys every bliss. None of the three sufferings, eight sufferings, or the limitless sufferings are found there at all. The people are poor, pure, and free of greed, hatred, and stupidity. Without the three poisons, there are no evil paths of rebirth, because the evil paths are but manifestations of the poisons.